Can I just thank all of the wonderful people who have already commented and subscribed on my first video. Thank you so much. You've already made me feel so welcome into this community, way more than I ever expected. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. Today I'm going to be doing the I Dare You book tag. I got this tag from Pages and Pens. Because I couldn't do my bookshelf tour video, because I had no idea how I'm going to film it, I haven't quite gotten it down. Plus, there's a lot of books on the shelf that I have not read yet, because my goal is to read all of these books by the end of next year. So, here comes another book tag. There are 19 questions in this book tag, so it's pretty long. I'll try and keep my answers as short as I can. 3 rules. You must be honest, you must answer all questions, and you have to tag at least 4 people. What book has been on your shelf the longest? Let me look. Okay, so the book that I believe is the oldest one I have on my bookshelf would be this, as far as books that I've owned the longest. As far as age, I'd have to say this book is probably the oldest one in age. It is familiar quotations, passages, phrases, and proverbs traced to their sources. It was actually printed in 1903. Question 2 is, what is your current read, your last read, and the book you'll read next? I read The Circle by Dave Edgars. I'm actually thinking about doing a book review because it was kind of a bad book. My current read right now is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I actually have already read this. It's the first book I'm ever rereading. But I want to reread this, and I want to reread P.S. I Still Love You so that I can read Always and Forever Laura Jean, because I really loved these books. So that answers the next part of the question. My next read will be P.S. I Still Love You. The next question is, what book did everyone love but you hated? I don't really hate books. There's a book that I absolutely hate with burning passion, but I can't say everyone loved it because it wasn't a well-known book. All the book reviews I've looked up on this book, people did like it, so I guess it counts. So this book is Let's Get Lost by Adi Al-Saad. It's so bad. It is so bad. But this book is the reason why I have this channel. I have this channel so that I can eventually make a video hating on this book, because it was so bad. It was so bad. I hated every minute of it, and that's actually what made me love it, was how much I hated this book. So stay tuned for it. The next question is, what book do you keep telling yourself you're going to read but probably won't? Some of the much older books on my shelf. I have one called Wallflowers by Temple Bailey. I've tried starting to read it. I kind of got distracted from it. So I really want to read these older books, but I don't know if I'll ever actually get to it or actually finish them. The next question is, what book are you saving for retirement? Maybe books like Pride and Prejudice or War and Peace, those classics. Maybe I'll save those for retirement. The next question, last page. Read it first or read it last? It's the last page. Like, who reads the last page first? I would hate to see what happens. I just don't ruin books. Don't read the last page. No. Next question, acknowledgements, waste of paper and ink or interest. I read the acknowledgements. I love seeing who they were inspired by and, the little things they have to say. Next question is, which book character would you trade places with? Right now, I'll say Laura Jean, just because I love her style and the way Jenny Han presents her. I do not wear nice clothes and have my hair looking nice all the time, and so I love reading about her and her style, and I kind of wish I was her sometime. The next question is, do you have a book that reminds you of a specific time or person? All of my books I've only read once, besides the one I'm rereading now. So if I think about that book, I immediately think of that point in my life when I read it. Each book I kind of have a moment where I was reading it and I just remember where I was, what I was doing when I was reading that book. In middle school, Princess Academy was one of my favorite books for the longest time, and I would read it on my back patio. One night I stayed out there reading it until like 1 a.m. and so I remember that. Or Looking for Alaska, I read my freshman year of high school, and I just remember sitting in my bedroom and just reading it and turning to the page that says after and just being like so show. Just Each book kind of has their individual moments. I don't know about a book that reminds me of a person, definitely times and moments in my life. Name a book that you acquired in an interesting way. Half of these books I don't remember how I got them. Period. Like, done. That's it. I'd have to say that the book that I got in the most interesting way, I'm just gonna have to say this one. I put my heart and soul into this book. I was the photographer for it. I guess there's the story of how much of me is in this book is what's interesting about it, not necessarily how I got it, but I had no other answer for this question, so. But if you would like a run through of this wonderful book and some of the things I like and don't like about it, leave a comment below. The next question is, which book has been the most places with you? I'd have to say these two. They're both books that I read when I was in middle school. I have owned them ever since. I loved them. They came with me from the United States to Germany, back to the United States again. So they actually have been places I haven't been because they went on a ship with all of my belongings to Germany when I went on a plane. So yeah, these ones have traveled with me for, I've got to say, at least the past 10 years. Anywhere I've lived, they've been. So there's that. Next, any required reading that you hated in high school but wasn't too bad 2 years later. I haven't reread any of the required reading I had to read, so I really don't have an answer for that one. Used or brand new? I mean, I like getting new books. I can't say that I haven't got new books. I have quite a few books on my shelf that still have their 20% off Target stickers on them, but I also have a ton of books that are almost or well over 100 years old. Quite a few from the 1920s. Obviously those aren't new, and I enjoy them just as much as my new ones, if not a little bit more. Have you ever read a Dan Brown book? No. Have you ever seen a movie that you liked more than the book? I can't say that I have. I can say that I've really enjoyed the movies. I thought that they were very good representations of the book. I don't think I've ever seen a movie and been like, oh, this was better than the book. I think they're two different things. The book's in your mind and the movie is just the vision of it. Have you ever read a book that made you hungry? No. Who is the person whose book advice you always take? I don't really take book advice really from anyone, not even really booktubers. It hasn't been like, oh, I'm gonna read this because this person told me it was good. Oh wow, I'm done. I thought there was another question, but the last question is tag 4 people. I'll do that in the description box below. I'm sorry that I'm doing another tag video. I really wanted to do a bookshelf tour, but I just haven't gotten the logistics down. I'm still new to this and I still have no idea what I'm doing, so if you have any suggestions for videos I could do or things you want to know about me or whatever, then just let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate all of the support and love that I've gotten so far just from one video, and I'm excited to talk more with you guys and just be a part of this community. So that is it. That is the I Dare You book tag. I'll put a link in the description with all the questions from the blog post that these questions originated from, and I'm excited to see your video. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I guess I'll see you later. Bye!